absolutely essential that we have some kind of cross-party resistance to fracking, because at a time in the history of the Earth when we have come to a point when we realise that we can't keep on extracting fossil fuels from the ground. Here is a government that wants to do more of it, and to me it just doesn't make any sense at all. We reached this amazing agreement in Paris about climate change and about reducing carbon emissions and all of that stuff, really good stuff, and then the next minute the government wants to take more stuff out of the ground. To me it's just absolutely crazy. I think we've got a number of challenges in terms of the process, because the government are pretty keen to do it. But I think the cross-party resistance is crucial, because I think if there is a lesson to be learned from the Northwest, when they were facing fairly imminent kind of pressure to start fracking, it was a Conservative council actually that said, well, we don't want to do this. So it's possible, I think, to create some kind of cross-party resistance to fracking, and we've got to work harder to do it. In Dorset, there are county council elections next year, so hopefully not too much damage will have been caused by then, although I'm not confident about that. We have to keep up the pressure to ensure that we don't start digging up the countryside in order to take this stuff out of the ground, and we're only going to do that if we work together.
In the UK, our population settlements are much nearer to fracking sites than the large, vast plains of America where they can frack not too near population settlements. As for the democratic rights angle, I think we are all right to be very worried about that. People's genuinely held and sensible views are being roughshod over, and that's something that is very worrying, and I think cross-party support is the only way we can rise up and form an effective and persuasive lobby against fracking.
Was the localism agenda of the Tory party, and so it's just stunningly galling to see them ignore it when it suits them, which, I mean, what else would we expect? I mean, frankly, governments generally do that of quite most hues, most shades of colour. So the localism agenda is absolutely key. It's very, very important. Our democratic, I personally feel that our democratic rights are being eroded enough as it is, from a global level right down to a local level. So let's we have to fight back somewhere, and absolutely locally it should be there. I know very little about fracking. I have to say it's a bit of a blind spot of mine in terms of the health risks and the science of it. However, it confuses me hugely that we know that we have a finite relationship with carbon fuels, and we have an infinite potential relationship with natural forms of energy, and yet we have the possibility of the creation of thousands of jobs and huge leaps in technology, necessity being the mother of invention, and I just can't understand why we singularly fail to invest suitably in investigating the possibilities of all the green technology out there. And I would be so excited about the science that we could come up with. There's all sorts of things I'm sure are out there if we only damn well invest in it, and it totally befuddles me.
The key, I think, that the cross-party should also emphasise the fact that this should not be a centralised decision which overrides local interests.